Alright, so, sorry for the garbage mic, by the way. The main reason I'm making this is because Arrowhead really pissed me off with the new Major Order. As you can see, I am at Meridia. You know, the planet that was collapsed into a wormhole and tore apart three of our planets by just passing by them, okay? Just by passing by them. You got that? Okay? So then, tell me this. Why the fuck is there a planet right where Meridia used to be? Like, that cannot work on so many levels. Like Meridia tore apart the other planets without even touching them. So this should have been destroyed the second Meridia collapsed into a wormhole. It should have been destroyed. Like it is impossible for this planet to even exist. And that's not even the only reason I hate it, because like this space was empty for a reason. It used to be inhabited by a planet, but that planet being Meridia, and then that planet got collapsed into a wormhole and destroyed three planets. Angel's Ventura, Moridesh, and Ivis. After being pulled towards Super Earth. Okay, so this empty spot, along with those destroyed planets, those were all reminders of the lasting consequences of the Second Galactic War. But my bad for my galaxy-spanning war to have lasting consequences. My bad for wanting that. And this is on top of the resort planets. Just appearing out of nowhere with literally zero building. Just we're making vacation planets now. Like we have better stuff to do. We have Termicide 2.0. The Illuminati are plunging entire planetary systems into an impenetrable darkness, trying to summon their god. In the automatons, they're building a planet-destroying superweapon. So why are we focusing on making vacation planets? Like, why aren't we even using Termicide 2? We literally had 2 minor orders to finish it, like before this minor update. So what was the point of that if we're not even going to use it? In the vacation planets, like I said earlier, they were never mentioned anywhere before. Not a single dispatch, briefing, or even a piece of ship dialogue mentioned them. But no. My bad for expecting Arrowhead to know how to add stuff that's never been mentioned before. My bad. In this, paired with their inability to make functioning content, like literally, the new planets can flashbang you with their sun, someone being right on a fucking nuclear explosion in the patch, causing the spore burst stream to kill your frame rate, and breaking the lumber and flame symmetry by just removing the flame hitbox at close range. It's obvious this stuff just was not ready to be released. Like,
the galaxy awaits your salvation.
Shut the fuck up. And I think I know the reason behind that, because I think the reason behind this is the major update system. I mean, not major update, but minor update system that they introduced from Machine of Oppression. Okay, I think it's that, because it was never this bad before, at least story-wise. Patch-wise, that's debatable. Because looking back, basically pretty much exactly a year ago, we had the arrival of the Great Host in the Battle for Super Earth, which and then we had a filler for a bit after winning the defense of Super Earth. But I'm fine with that, because Arrowhead thought we'd lose Super Earth, so the time after that would have been dedicated to taking it back, and that sounds like that would have been pretty cool content. So they didn't do that on purpose. Okay, it doesn't seem like this right here seems like it was done on purpose, because they just didn't know what the fuck they're to do with the story. That was not on purpose. After that, we had the maximum security cities and the rebuilding of Remembrance, along with the expansion of the Helldiver fleet for the Xbox divers. And then after that, we had the Into the Unjust Major Update and the Liberation of Oceane, as well as some setup for the Illuminate Ruins and the Exospires. After that, we had the War on Dissidents and the beginning of the Star of Peace arc. And entering this year, we had the completion of the firing of the Star of Peace, which led into the invasion of Cyberstan, okay? And after that failed, we had some foreshadowing for Terminate Hive Mind, and then the first minor update, which gave us the X Spires and the creation of the Void and the teasing of the Illuminate's God. Made a video on that. And then, once we liberated Hort to stop it from being voided, the story just stopped. Like, it just stopped completely. It's been nothing but filler since then, and the only plot progression we got was Termicide 2 being finished, and that the Illuminate are trying to unearth some ruins on Cade, you know, with the current strategic order. You know, like, you think that the Termicide being relevant, you know, it's to set up this minor update since it is Terminator related, but, nope. Just pull Vacation Plans out of their ass. Just, you know, I would have been more forgiving towards this if, after you failed the last major order, which was not a success like the game would tell you, losing like 3 planets to liberate only one of the 3 we needed, okay, we, shut the fuck up. We lost these 3 planets, Terekas, Terra, Cirrus, and also, you know, Keith, whatever, but that was this major order, where was I again? Oh yeah, that was not a success at all. That was a major failure. Losing us 3 planets. Where the hell is it again? Wait, where the fuck's Brilliance? Sorry, just a little. Where the fuck did it go? You get the point. You get the point. Losing 3 planets to gain 1 is not a success. Not in any way. You know, and you know, like, if they said the Helldivers have failed to liberate the vacation planets from the Terminated Swarm, we have decided to use this opportunity to authorize the early deployment of Termicide 2 so the Helldivers can test it out in their further attempts to liberate these beautiful planets from the Terminated Swarm. Like, something like that to actually bring Termicide 2 into the story, and to make these planets actually matter in some way, you know, that would have been infinitely better than what we currently have. And like, at this point, the only way I can see Termicide 2 being relevant in the story at this point is that we're going to fail this major order, and so Super Earth is going to use as justification to deploy early to the new planets. And if they don't do that, then I have no idea how the fuck it's going to get in the story, okay? No idea. Also, on the new age order, how does it know the bugs are going to attack, like, no, fuck. How does it know what the bugs are going to attack? Oh yeah, that reminds me. This patch also broke Super Destroy animations. As you can see, my arms on the, you can see on the bottom, my arms are not in the, just standing there like I'm just standing there like idling, not in the menu, as you can see. Like that, and then, yep, see? So yeah, they also broke that shit, and they still haven't fixed the, name bug. But yeah, how does Super Earth know the Terminators are going to attack Zygos twice, and Frontiera, like, once? How do we know that? Like, why, like, that's another plot, that opened up another plot hole, because Arrowhead could have just kept this as hold Frontiera when the major order ends, and hold Zygos when the major order ends. Not this. Not whatever that is.
Liberty calls for
Oh my god, you shut the fuck up, Democracy Officer. Holy shit.
You can decide where to answer.
And again, the story taking a sudden nosedive in quality. The only reason I can see for that is the minor update system. Without it, they could have let the Void actually breathe for a bit, and not just pause it for like 2 months after we liberated Hort. Because like the appropriators have been present on Keed for like a month. Like ever since that that one like stop limit abductions or whatever major order. And like in all that time, they've done nothing except for today. Because they apparently started unearthing some ruins. So, you know, we could have actually gotten a real arc regarding that instead of just 2 major orders that were back to back, and then waiting like 2 months and then getting a strategic opportunity. And you know, this, you know, as well as getting like actual proper build up to the vacation planet reveal, you know? And like, I wanted to state that the MAGA planets, in my opinion, they were introduced fine. I don't have an issue with them, and the reason for that is that actually made sense of why they're introduced how they were, because like obviously, you know, like they aren't habitable, They said that, and so like Super Earth likely would have had to put in a lot of resources to figure out how to like get the materials like extracted from the planet, without like getting like trillion, like probably like hundreds of millions of people killed like doing that. So obviously, they just like didn't care about the planets because of that. So yeah, it makes sense why they weren't monitoring them, because they just could not get the resources off of them. And the justification for the new planets, it's terrible, because like the idea that like the justification is that they are that they were irradiated, and now the radiation's gone down to an acceptable level. Except there's a bit of a problem with that. Helldivers get massively irradiated daily from the nuclear bomb explosions.
Helldiver?
Like, you are in vicinity of the shockwave, so you are in vicinity of the nuclear fallout. In this series story, like probably from all the nuclear materials, like developing all the hell bombs and stuff like that, is also probably super radiated as well. So that's just a terrible excuse. And that's not even like the main reason I really hate it, or the only one. Like it's the main reason I hate it is that it's being done now when, like I said earlier, it's being done now when we have so many better, a lot of it should be the last thing we are prioritizing. Like, why aren't we trying to rebuild the megacities on Super Earth anymore? Why aren't we investing in the sudden coordination of the bugs? Because that seems like a major development that is kind of troubling. Again, without the minor update system, we could actually get these plot lines to move forward at a reasonable pace, and the content would get released in a much better state. I mean, probably will still be super buggy, but it wouldn't blind you for daring to look in the wrong direction. But with it, Arrowhead has to sideline them to get to rush through the current arc and set up the next one, leaving massive plot holes behind and also really buggy stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that the minor update system was like a major mistake when it came to like this game's pacing. Game keeps my fucking. See, I think it was just a major mistake when it came to this game's pacing and like quality, like content release and whatever. Like I think it was a massive mistake, and they should just stop it. So yeah, I just wanted to get this out there. So I don't know, subscribe or something. See ya.